Welcome out, gamers and gamettes, to this RGL.GG Invite Highlander match. It's Season 21, Week 5. We're here on PL Vigil, watching BigBrainComp take on China National TF2 team in a match we may have thought coming into the season wasn't going to be for anything, but may end up, in fact, being for the last playoff spot in Invite this season. I am Alto, joined by Jamon to my side, Dolphin behind the camera. As always, Jamon, how are we feeling tonight?
Time shit! We feeling good. After everything, we just kind of go ahead and talked about. But, your boy's feeling good, feeling excellent. New microphone, new stuff to do, new TF2.
I thought you sounded crisper than normal.
Shit, you already know how we run it here, baby boy. But listen, we doing pretty damn good. We're doing excellent, actually. And honestly, I'm just glad to be here. I'm only here because my scrims got canceled, and I'm so happy, but I'm so sad at the same time. But, we do it live because it's Highlander. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yep, and we might be bearing witness here to one of the more unlikely playoff runs we've seen in Invite over the past few seasons. BBC is currently sitting at 1-3, but as a result of them getting all of their toughest matches of the season out of the way early, they're currently left with a match against China National, Imposters, and a bye week. That one win coming in upset fashion over IDM back on Swiftwater, who we thought was the presumed fourth seed after their own win over China National back in Week 1. Should BBC take the win tonight, though, they will, in all likelihood, supplant IDM as that fourth seed and slip into playoffs. China National, meanwhile, fighting not so much for themselves, as even should they take a win here, they'd still need to likely pull off at least an upset half on Steel against one of the top teams in the div. But should they win, IDM can sleep a little bit easier. Nothing's going to be for certain. Steel Week 7 can lead to any number of upsets. But most of these teams are playing matches that are probably going to go one way or the other. So we really want to take a magnifying glass here and see if BBC, who we haven't casted all season, may end up ending up in that top 4 and make their way into playoffs.
Man, realistically here too, even looking at both of these teams, man, here's the real thing, Alto. We're looking at Big Vigil. And, Vigil, if there's one thing I know about Vigil after playing with Rib, it's a chalk solo Uber out of main onto the gun. Excellent. Everybody else probably doesn't do that. But what are some expectations you think that we can kind of look at, especially between these two teams on a map like Vigil?
Looking at these two teams, I think on a strict player basis, I see more names that I'm biased to on China National. I see Humphrey, I see Scourge on Sniper, I see Mr. Popo on Spy, all of whom, have either been great in Invite this season or have had past success. But I have to think back to Swiftwater, where BBC managed to take the win over IDM despite having none of that. And it's pretty clear this is a team that's been together for a very long time. Anyone who's played in main or advanced over the past few years really has probably run into some iteration of BBC or their JV team back in main. So these players are familiar with each other. This is one of those teams that you have to imagine kind of is more than the sum of their parts, coordination over DM, and they're on a stopwatch map where, that's the more valuable skill set here. So I think China National takes it on the DM front, but I'm really looking to see if Colin and the rest of the BBC combo can just, really show up as a team, come together, play smart, get some advantages and snowball them through.
I'm hearing, even with that being said, we'll put it like this, Alton. When you're thinking of most viewed player, when you're looking at players to look at these two matches, what's some MVP predictions you're thinking? I have my own personal, but I'd love to hear your thoughts in all actuality.
I'm gonna give you an MVP should either team win.
Okay.
I'm gonna say MVP if China National wins gonna be Mr. Popo. We've seen some crazy performances out of him this season. A little bit hot or cold as a player, but when he's hot, he can just hand wrap around, gift wrap around and hand deliver it to his team. Should BBC win, I think I'm gonna lean towards maybe a little bit towards Manfart. Because I think when you have these coordination-based teams, right, having a med who can stay alive, keep Uber, be supporting the combo, going to be very, very important. Especially when I look at Scourge and Mr. Popo as the two pick classes on China National are, two of the bigger threats, I think, with Humphrey on demo. That's a lot of pressure on a med. And if Manfart's able to weather that and keep the rest of the combo strong, I think it'll spell good things for BBC.
Beautiful. Love. Yeah, I'd say I'd have to agree in terms of when we're looking at like when we're looking at China National. I definitely would say, like, especially when you're looking at MVP, Mr. Popo, the way that he plays and the way that he kind of does his executions with his team is definitely I'd say one of the more unique ones that I see within the invite, especially how he's able to kind of be in pivotal or be in situations where they're kind of pivotal for his team to go ahead and try to break something, some kind of stalemate going along that line. Honestly, though, if I'm looking at BigBrainComp, though, you said Manfar. I don't know the medic. I'm looking a little bit of Walrus. I don't know. I'm feeling the flu Walrus. Poo, this MVP coming out here, man. I've seen what some nasty heavies can do on this map, especially because I have been a victim to some of those heavies. I exactly know how some people can go ahead and turn up. So it realistically just will go and turn. It realistically will just come down to how both of these teams are going to be able to execute some of their pushes and more, what kind of plays they're looking to do. But I will go ahead and tell you that it is looking to still be a phenomenal game. If you had a prediction in turn, because it realistically could go either way, but what is your heart telling you? Ignore logic. What is your heart telling you right now?
My heart's telling me 2-1 for BBC.
Ooh, dang.
The team,
like that.
They've stuck together for so long. You love to see it, right? Both of these teams actually have some history to them, but to me, BBC making their debut at Invite this season, I want the universe to reward that dedication and come through and give them the win here. Let them slide into playoffs. Do I think, should they make that 4th seed? Do I think they have a realistic shot at, coming into placement? Probably not. But, you get those games in, you get that, playoff invite under your belt, you get the experience. I'd like to see the universe reward that. If I think my brain, though, I think there's going to be a lot riding on BBC to shut down Humphrey and Mr. Popo.
Even when you say that too, I even forgot that some of these players actually played at LAN together in 2023 at the Resup or the Resup LAN. That I did not expect the Highlander S team to be playing sixes like that. But now that you're thinking about it, yeah, they are kind of a team that really has been together for a very, very long time. And even despite whichever game mode you realistically are looking at from the audience, I can tell you that when you got synergy, a lot of that can really factor in, and it can absolutely be rewarding depending on what kind of team it is and what you're doing. We've seen some newcomer teams do it, we've seen some advanced teams do it, but we in invite, and we may see it tonight. We realistically don't know. I probably will play at devil's advocate, though. I probably would say 2-1 for China National. I'm feeling some synergy. I don't know what it is, especially because I was looking at logs a little bit from China National. I just feel like at this point in time, it could be entirely in their hand. But again, it's all dependent on how this game kind of unfolds, though.
Absolutely, and yeah, I'm also looking a lot at Melvin too on that sniper for BBC, because I think going into it, my gut is telling me that Scourge is going to be one of the bigger bullies maybe on the side of China National. And even if you don't come out and dunk on Scourge, if you can at least go even with him, I think then that's going to give your combo a lot of room to operate and let some of those more coordinated plays come in. We haven't really talked about BBL yet either, just because I think Mr. Popo's the more flashy player there. But BBL player, as much as he gets memed on, very solid on Spy, can have the fundamentals down on a team like BBC that's very coordination-based. Having a Spy who's willing to, be talking, doesn't need to go for the glory plays, not having a problem going in, getting the saps when he needs to, could really just help facilitate things. So
he's also a very, like, I didn't mean to cut you off, I'm so sorry, but he's also like a very communicative spot player, isn't he, as well? In terms of, because I remember BBL at least playing heavy. I do remember that just because I played against him in like season 10 in advance. But the heavy to Spy transition, I know that he is a person who is very talkative, very communicative, but not so much to where it clutters comms, but so much to where he's kind of giving information. Kind of reminds me of someone like Fish, like another Spy player or Jacob, Spy players who are very communicative in terms of what they want their team to do, what kind of setups they want to do, what kind of positions they kind of want to be in. And that, I feel like on Spy is definitely very, it depends. It's important depending on, your team dynamic. Every team has their own specific dynamic of what works for them. What I think is going to be really interesting here too is how that is going to kind of factor into this match. I would love if we were just able to like look in comms from other teams, but I don't know, it's TF2. You may hear some people get kind of crazy also.
Oh yeah, no, that's a viewer hazard, I think, if we were to go into the comms here. But yeah, as you were saying, the BBL is very communicative, and I think when you have those types of players, you know, you get a lot of value that doesn't show up in the logs, and can really kind of show up in a match. But we are live, starting with China National on offense. Aggro first hold coming in for BBC. Gonna have to see what China National does to break it. Uber's already popped out.
Ooh, yeah, with the Uber going to pop out, it looks like we're actually going to see the likes of BBC going ahead and re-pop out the Uber. It's going to be better on that side, but they actually do lose two, Heavy and their Pyro, so at this point in time, and they're going to have height here with China National, but Thomas goes ahead and gets picked up. No Soldier, no Heavy. Oh, and the picks are actually in favor more of BBC as they just keep going back and forth. Mr. Popo going ahead and trading, but as we're looking at this point in time, it looks like we're just going to go ahead and give up first. It was looking kind of hectic back and forth there also, but with this point in time, it looks like China National has gone ahead and secured the first point as we are looking to see.
Yeah, just punch after punch. Looked like China National's coming ahead. You know, the rest of BBC started getting fragged, and Mr. Popo coming and taking out Melvin means that so much space denial lost. Going to force the back out. It's pretty much a minute exactly through first. And I think they may have been listening to you. Looks like we're seeing a tunnel Uber, although Thomas inside may not be a heavy.
Oh no! I want the heavy Uber so bad. Lil Sat coming in from big boss Thomas and Boston. It looks like again we're still just trading people, a little back and forth. Melvin's actually going to be one of the Melvin Scourge. It's going to be one of the few people to go ahead and die here. Or no, man for it. Melvin. It is Melvin. Goodness gracious! You know what I'm saying? He died. He died.
Long spawn timer too. They've already backed out, disengaged, regrouping on Hill, and the Ubers are going to come through right here. Popped out onto Colin and Witch jumping forward, aggressively denying this Uber. No frags going to be traded. Buys time for Melvin to get back in. Mr. Popo just crossing through now. That gun level 2. Popo going to get caught up against the sap. Gun is down, but trades are going to be Popo for Witch. BBL going down next. Hill presence starting to come in for China National.
At this point in time, yeah, they're trying to take a Manfart gets picked up by Scourge. You love to see it if you're a fan, if you're a China National fan. With that being said as well too, it's gonna go ahead and secure them the second point as well. You know, they use that little Uber exchange to go ahead and just get rid of Ubers. Do not want any Ubers in play to have a better team fight, especially because Mr. Popo was already in the position behind to go ahead and get the picks needed. Good play for China National, and they're doing pretty solid on time here too also.
Yep, 2 minutes through second is great. I mean, Vigil, as it turns out, usually comes down to how fast you can push last, but any extra time you can gain first through third is good. Mr. Popo will get caught out, but a full Uber ad for Nines, already aggressive positioning up on flank. Scourge going to get forced back thanks to the toys coming out from pre-alpha, but Uber popped in through the brackets. Boss jumping in, gonna get taken out. Super Witch doing a great job denying it. Finally goes down with the Wrangler for Profire.
Oh my god.
Megamind on Engineer. Tree Monkey comes in, cleans up Nines, and Pro Flyer, Pro Wrangler. That might be the most Wrangler kills I've ever seen in a match in such a short period of time.
4K on Vigil third. I was wondering for a sec why they weren't going to wait for Mr. Popo. I understand he got picked. You got Uber. You definitely want to take it. But they had They had ample time to just sit down, wait, try to go ahead, poke and prod, and wait for Popo to get in position again so something like that doesn't happen. But I have to agree with you. That and double kill from Big Island on the Boston Hub. Oh, and another drop from Manfart from Scourge. Once again, peeked through the main doors. Given the Uber ad situation back in the hand of China National, now we're in the same situation as Melvin is going to get the pick on the Scourge, but at this point in time, Uber ad, again, is in the favor of China National.
Yep, exactly, and Manfart's still now just spawning. They're starting to get aggro here. Really aggressive play from BBC, which you like to see, you know, put up that kind of defense even if your med's down, but Blue's going to get pushed all the way back out the flank, getting chased out, will survive, but going to be low. They're actually going to pick up Boss and MK on that. Masterful work to take those kills in, but the Uber ad is still huge. Coming out at AC 130 on the card, though, not that close. If they can get numbers, maybe push back out here as pre-alpha picks off Nines. Blue still alive in the backline, walking forward. That card almost up the hill. It's not going to get there. Melvin, Witch, Blue all coming in, salvaging this hold, and just really, really well played by BBC there. Should have lost that point, managed to pull it out and keep the hold going.
As soon as the flank died from the side of China National and that Uber came out, it was looking disastrous. You know, guaranteed they got their picks, understandable. Ooh, big bomb from Boss. He'll double right on the man part, getting them to, you know, not even less than 20. But again, picks are being traded. No flank again. Uber does come out, of course, from this side of BBC. And at this point in time, again, just kind of collecting picks left and right. Thick, Scourge, and Ness are actually going to be the few to die. Colin gonna pick Mr. Popo, and Witch going ahead and get picked off as well. It's an all-you-can-eat buffet, and both teams are eating good. As we're looking at just again the Uber ad on the side, heavy peeking. They get the card. So many kills, Alto. They could take this. No gun at last just yet. They could get aggressive if they really wanted to.
Yeah, there's enough players up. I'm not quite sure they're going to be there. It's really hard to snowball Vigil last. But as you said, truly a buffet of kills right there. And it's going to lead to Nines having full Uber ad right here. They're getting ready to go, and Manfart only on 66. You know, they've got a little bit of time to work with, but not that much. They delay this any further, they're going to lose the ad. It looks like they want to rotate flank, but Manfart already up to 80. You're likely not going to be able to capitalize as you want to. Humphrey aggro out of Redmond, but they're still not using.
At this point in time, both of these Ubers are going to even out, and it looks like at this time too, it looks like both teams are realizing, especially I assume Popo called it at the last second, that both the Ubers are going to be just about even. Now, at this point in time, they have a couple plays that they realistically, just as we said, that they're actually just going to go ahead and try to use the Uber from the flank, try to get a good exchange, but the Uber is going to be in favor of BBC with Scourge, 9 stick, the plethora of players going ahead and getting cleared up. Like, they're using Fabuloso to go ahead and clear them clean tile floors. Insanity, brother.
What is this product placement we're getting here? Just a meat grinder of kills in the flank right there. Not enough prep work done. I think they just took that Uber and just kind of rammed it in there. Not going to find too much. BBC kites back. Milk just mulches them in there. You're going to see Nines get taken out. The banner now getting popped up from Tree Monkey just to give them a little bit of extra space. I think get a little bit comfortable on this defense, but you're still looking at about a 20% ad for Manfart. Rest of BBC sitting comfy here on left.
And they're not going to take this uber aggressively. It's defense. You know, they want to stall as much time as possible. It ain't really any reason to try to go for it. Ooh, Tree Monkey actually going to get picked up on Humphrey from the Stickies at big door as we are seeing the combo move a little bit more towards flank, trying to see if we can pressure this gun out before we can try to do anything of that. But we do see Big Witch going ahead and stopping any type of pressure, any type of damage whatsoever. And Ubers, at this point in time also, are pretty much going to even. And it looks like at this point, with the gun going up, they could just go ahead and use this Uber from flank, but Scourge is dead. This Uber post could look not too solid, but no, it's dead too, which makes it just about even.
Yeah, they're just not using here, holding on to it. Finally popped out on the side of China National. All getting bounced around a bit. No sniper on either side. The gun's going to go down, but there's so much presence right now from BBC. Got to be careful they don't overextend. Free Alpha getting in deep. Gonna find Boss, but Scourge gets the Shahan kill onto Twitch. Nines, though, gonna get sniped out. Kills are in favor of China National, but Beam for BBC. Kills are going back and forth. Profile with the glow stick. Keep picking them up. Scourge and Mr. Popo both going down. BBL gets caught out. But the hero defense from Proflyer again manages to help save the point.
Nah, these players are some stinkers, though. Hey, boy. Hey, if Profile Pilot, this man aiming with some excellence. We talking platinum aim, Baltic aim type B with this, and we're working with a major ad, and Popo's dead as well. No information for the side of China National. They are doing their damnedest to go ahead and hold this point off, though. This is insanity.
Yep, all the kills coming in exactly when they need them. Melvin pulling the Dom onto Scourge, but Colin's gonna get caught out. PBL potentially feeds over a Saw. The Uber gets forced out from Manfart. Nines just now coming up. A full ad in all, fullness. Level 3 gun set up on flank. If there's ever a time for China National, it is now. Mr. Popo getting in position. Might have been sniffed out by Blue Hours, though. They're going to take him out early. That's huge as Uber comes out.
Battalions does get used. Uber, BBL dies, Proflyer dies, and at this point in time, again, still just trading players back and forth. Melvin gets picked off by Scourge, trying to have a perfect post. We do see Walrus, trying to be in the flank position, but isn't going ahead and get it. Witch, low HP, but Colin still alive, holding that thing down, keeping that card at bay. Colin, big Colin, calling his name to fame. That's what they call him. As he goes ahead, kills not 3, not 4, but 5 to secure that payload. Oh my gosh, also this game is crazy.
truly. And I mean, again, things look so good for them there. They had that level 3. Maybe not seeing Tree Monkey had a banner there that let them really clear that gun out on flank. Gave them time to hold it. Colin fighting left side of point, while Manfart on right, arrow taking him from a distance. Incredible, just, you know, clutch game there. The replay kill from Witch onto MK, casts a magic spell, makes him disappear. Frags keep going back and forth right here. Profire gonna get taken out. Numbers in favor of China National. Even in Boss getting a little bit frisky up in spot. No. Scourge finds Manfart again. This has to be it for Boss.
Oh, Scourge said, nah, no more. I'm putting my foot down that big door, and I'm going ahead and I'm making big scores. Mini sentry up by Big Bro, trying to step in. Walrus trying to do his bit. Oh, level 2 gun at Big Door, but gets taken now quick. Tree Monkey and Manfart are the only people alive from the side of BBC, as he is getting healed, and he stops the cart, and it's just still him. He tried his best. Cart pushing up. He can't go for the ammo, and it's exactly what he does, but the stall is quite frankly insane also. Insane.
A true Alamo hold on last right there. Things kept going wrong for BBC, but they kept managing to just barely hold it together by the skin of their teeth. If it takes a Wrangler 4K, that's what it takes. If it takes a Met demo, just last standing the point with both of them, you know, out of beam range, that's what it takes. Just incredible play from all of BBC, really, in a spot where China National had major advantages on basically every point.
Dude, it just seems like a lot of the times when it came to China National, a lot of these pushes that they were trying to do, and I get it, you want to be quick, you have to, it's timed, you definitely want to try to get through some of these points as efficiently and quickly as possible, but a lot of these times they would just take these Ubers at the worst possible times, or not all of them, of course, but some of them. We get the third point, they take an Uber, they take it straight to the spot, but their flank dies, so when the post comes in, they all just get collapsed on, and that happened more than once, or the first time they tried to do it, where the Wrangler 4K came into play. These players, they know what they want, Alto, and they want this win. BBC want the win.
They want playoffs, and they're playing great so far. 10.5 minutes is a time you'll be happy with every single offense. They're going to get out onto cart, you know, not too much. Another aggro hold coming in on the defensive side, but AC-130 with an exit telly. I love that.
Oh, just as we
and
see
there's
that.
Nines. The sacks coming in. Nines manages the disappearing medic trick, and it will continue to hold on to Uber. That's phenomenal technology. Nah.
They came. Both teams came after that one. They said, oh, they second? Hey, run my medic out real quick. Get that telly up real quick. I ain't trying to have that. Oh, wait, Jose. But still, 10 minutes. They tried for a sack. Now it looks like they're going for the Uber. Uber does come out, and it looks to be pretty solid also. Oh, my God! Oh, my God, Cliff! Oh, my God! An Uber to claim all Ubers. A chariot Uber. No Trojan horse needed. It's powerful coming out from Witch, making a statement. No demo needed. No exchange needed. No post fight needed also.
Bubble, toil and trouble. Get me an environmental kill and make it double.
Oh.
Which gets both of them off the cliff with that one. I mean, just, if you've listened to me cast this map before, you know I'm against that first hold. Way too easy for things to go wrong. Manfart gonna be sitting on a big ad right here. Tree Monkey going in for a sack, trying to get anything he can. Gonna get behind even. Maybe cause some havoc. Getting forward, going to distract Boss long enough to get taken down. MK's gonna be next. They're already forced back. The gun playing passive. And Manfart goes down again!
Oh my God! Humphrey coming in! Oh my God! These people are coming in, creating havoc, destruction. BBL. Oh my God, BBL even shot Humphrey away with beam. He said, yeah, go ahead. Run away. I don't care if you got Uber right now. We get the point, and that's all we need. Especially also, we got 8 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock still.
2 minutes per second, both teams really sitting at that same pace. And BBC, you know, I mentioned, I was thinking if they were going to win, it was going to be because Manfart was playing solid. Really, maybe not his best performance, but the rest of the team is lifting him up like nothing else. You know, Med goes down, doesn't matter. Everyone pops off, wins their 1v1s, gets those kills, forcing them out anyway. Melvin gonna go down, may slow some momentum here. Humphrey getting aggro, up on track, takes out 3 Alpha. Gonna keep that cart held there. This forward push is so good. with the sniper down, but maybe too forward.
No Uber needed, and the damage is insurmountable. This is insanity, dude. We're looking at 5 picks on the side of China National. Gun is still up, but they're gonna get rid of that gun quick, and they already got the 3rd point also, and they're working with full Uber ad for last.
Full Uber at 7.5 minutes. Gotta imagine things are solidly BBC sided right here. That aggressive play from China National is great, but the gun wasn't defending them. They give up kind of that advantage by how far they play. Colin just walks in, and I mean, truly a Bingus blast takes out the med. That's a drop on the side of Nines. BBC more than willing to take advantage. Looks like they're going to potentially get going soon. Yep, 2 men already.
Uber does come out. They take the power with the Uber to go ahead and just blast everybody away, make as much space as possible, which exactly they're doing. Tree Monkey does die. The post fight has initiated. Walrus is going ahead and dying. A lot of picks. So far, 3 picks for the side of China National. Still getting this car pressure. Tree Monkey going ahead and bullying this big door. But Manfart is going to live with his life and escape. And it looks like Mr. Popo could be on the prowl to look for this pick. But at this point in time, that Uber only got probably just 1 pick, if anything else, also.
Yeah, not too much with it. You'd like to, see that Uber win, but you got 7.5 minutes on the clock. They wanted to make sure they got it off while they still had the ad. They get card all the way up to the base of the hill with 6.5 minutes. It's not the worst spot to be in. They're going to have to, build, but Manfred's building super fast. Sack coming in. They're going to find the gun. Lots of people low. Humphrey going to go down, as is the Pyro. MK's going to be next. And they got the card up the hill with that Sack.
They didn't use Uber. They had to use the banner, but, it's Soldier. He'll get that banner pretty quick with some nice spam. You know how that goes. Both teams going to be working with even Uber, and it's going to still be at that point in time when we're looking at 5 minutes and 50 seconds, or just about 5 minutes and 50 seconds left with, a little pick from Mr. Popo. The Uber out through Red Room 2 also.
Yep, gonna be even. They both pretty much come up with a kill here, but Scourge gonna take out Melvin. They can play super wide on the defense. BBL next, no pick classes. Cart rolling back down the hill, that's the important thing. No one able to touch him. They're gonna try to fight in here. Tree Monkey coming in, gets sent packing, and there's the body shot from Scourge to finish him off. Melvin back in, finds the pick onto Boss, but the numbers from China National may be too much. They're gonna get caught up again, though, just like that. They pull it in, it is so close, kills everywhere.
Oh, and they're just, at this point in time, Thomas is trying to mow down, and it's exactly what he's doing, is walking forward and mowing down as many people with the damage, keeping his team alive, soaking in all that damage like he's taking a bubble bath, and he's soaking in all that moisture, applying that lotion right after, silky smooth skin. That's exactly the kind of heavy gameplay I love to see right there.
Yep, but that said, here comes just a 9-man rush. Everyone in, great reflex from the Pyro right there. Kills in favor of China National. Cart's gonna inch a little bit closer, just a bit. Not gonna find it, but Manfart is safe. Colin is safe. They can just back up Manfart. Won't stay in too deep. Gets hit quite low, but will manage to just barely hang on to that Uber. And that sack, that cost them nothing. They're ready to go right back in with Uber now.
Have another exchange. We're on mini sentries, not even on the full gun. Don't have enough time to get the full gun. Looks like Uber's gonna probably go through Red Room. That's exactly what happened with the exchange coming out here. Also, it's not looking too good with Thomas going ahead and not being dead, not gonna be in post fight.
Yep, Witch just bouncing everyone around. They're all coming in on card. It's gonna be just a new challenger on the card every time. They're all jumping in. Another little bit closer for the card, but cannot get those decisive kills.
Oh my god. Colin should have died like 20 times here. Oh my, you got 5 rocket, both 5 rocket. Goodness gracious. But no, just as you said, man, these Ubers were not finding those pivotal primary kills to go ahead and try to secure this point where, if we get everybody from the combo but that one player still going ahead and leading everybody. But Uber's a little bit more on the side of China National, but they do have time to go ahead and try to sack for another car if they truly wanted to.
Yeah, they're gonna get the battalions forced out, but they cause the cart to roll back down. So, 1 step forward, 1 step back for BBC right now. Out of that initial 7.5 minutes, China Nationals ran through 4 of it. And I mean, great defense from them so far. They're gonna have to keep it up, but proving they can do it, at least on, theory. The cart's rolling back even further. Thought we had a pause, but just a slight bit of server lag.
Oh, There is no war in Bossing say as the Uber actually goes ahead and gets exchanged again. Nobody's dying here, just a nice, simple, casual exchange. Post fight goes ahead and gets executed. Scourge goes ahead and dies. Big pick from Melvin at this point in time. Oh, big bomb coming in from Tree Monkey, getting in so much damage. Enough damage to go ahead and get the pick off of nines as well. It looks like they're just trying to post at this point in time. BBC taking their time, trying to get healed up, especially with Manfart still alive. If they can't get this at this point, also they can still play with the Uber, but it looks like it's only been showing they're just trying to throw players at the cart, man.
Yeah, they're just not getting enough forward pressure here. They've really been ignoring that flank side at all. No one's been getting up on the spawn. No one's been, you're not getting a heavy on that head, which really locked them back right there. I think I'm looking at chat. Humphrey's currently sitting on a 7 streak. Really been doing a lot right there. And I mean, Melvin staying alive in that fight got them the Uber ad right here, but they're really going to need to convert here. The battalion's coming out, going to force them back a little bit. Unless they choose, they're getting aggressive with it. They might go right in through Big Door here while they're still aggressive.
Well, true. Uber does come out, Big Doors through, trying to get as deep with this Uber as we possibly can. That's why we went ahead and took pre-alpha with it as well. Gun and dispenser down, MK down, getting a lot of space with it, which is what you want with this Uber, and that's exactly what you're going to see. Space being made, and a flag onto the last point of Vigil, claiming BBC have won victory.
And if you told me that they were going to have an 8-minute time, roughly, I would have assumed the time spread was going to be a little bit more even across the points, not like 2.5 minutes through third, and then 6 minutes on last. But doesn't matter. They get it done. With that last Uber, they finally get people deep. You know what I mean? They have that ad. They get forward. They bring pre-alpha in. The scouts going deep. He's not getting denied by the pyro. Forces them back into the spawn. They finally have this presence to get forward. And they're, they finally able to get the cap in, and really, I think that cites back to Flu Walrus caught Mr. Popo out on flank, going for Melvin, keeps his sniper alive. Sniper gets a med pick. They're able to snowball that into an ad that finally gets them that last cap.
Don't get me wrong. China National was absolutely throwing up some solid last defensive holds. But what I can tell you is, I just pulled up the logs, and dear heaven to heavenly heaven, goodness gracious, pre-alpha is cleaning up. He's cleaning up with Big Colin and Big Humphrey, trading the damage like it's nobody's business, Alto. These logs are looking, oh my goodness, beautiful even, glorious even, Alto.
Yeah, I mean, Colin putting out 530 DPM over a 18-19 minute Vigil game is pretty impressive. 10 deaths, really on the lower side. I mean, you look at the deaths on BBC, Colin staying alive, with Manfred. Obviously, you're going to see a gap between the demo and the med. That's just how it's going to turn out. But just, staying alive, keeping that damage out, really important. Humphrey on the other side, a little bit less on the damage, way more on the kills. So both demos really showing up here. And I mean, I'd like to take the credit of saying this is kind of turning out how we thought it would. Yes, BBC's slight ad in the frags. I think that a lot of that's going to come from pre-alpha, but so many fights that on paper they should have lost, able to pull out. They have ad coming into second, right? Manfart gets sniped, doesn't matter. Everyone clutches up, gets their picks, walks through it. Defending third, disad. Flu Walrus masterfully baits 2 people in on flank. You start the Uber off 9v7, which denies half of it, sets up Profiler to get that crazy Wrangler kill. That should not happen. But because they're just, that 5%, 10% better than China National and all the little things, it adds up over time.
Bro, one thing, again, and, I don't mean to be that guy to criticize, but also, yes, I do. At this point in time, I'm criticizing. I'm talking smack. What I will say, though, at this point in time, oh, and Pre-Alpha hitting him with the smack talk. Oh, Pre-Alpha with the smack talk in the chat. Oh, my goodness. He said, how's that Marvel Rivals competitive grind nines? Oh, my gosh. It's going. But anyway, regardless, when it comes to China National, Alto, agree or disagree. Yeah. I don't want you to just agree to no agree. But when it comes to China National, especially when we're looking at their offense, we saw a solid time. We saw a grand time going into it for sure. But I say grand time, 10 minutes, regardless of how you go to it, we saw a time. One thing that I felt like when it came to the aggression that China National was doing is that I felt like in a lot of these pushes and a lot of these setups, it was too rushed. And because it was too rushed, or it seemed like a miscommunication between combo and flank, because a lot of these times when they pushed in, flank will be dead, they get collapsed on. Or a lot of times there'd be someone from combo who died, they would still try to take this Uber in, and then lo and behold, because of that one player, that one pick, at that one moment, it just domino affected from there. I feel like with China National, for them to get a better time, if they just take a chill pill, go ahead and try to set up some of these plays a little bit more streamlined, not rush it too quick, then we are potentially looking at them not getting another 10-minute time. But if we see the same aggression from China National, I don't know what to say. It could be an 11-minute time, depending on how it looks. Especially after BBC beat that 10 minutes, it wasn't easy, but they still beat that 10-minute time.
No, absolutely agree on them kind of rushing those pushes, and I think it's important, regardless of whether or not you're an invite team or you're a little bit lower down, an IM in main, that you really kind of realize why like certain tenets of TF2 are the way they are, right? If you have an Uber advantage, that allows you to take all of this space. It allows you to, have time where you're dealing damage and they can't deal damage back. And usually that will lead to you winning a fight, right? That's kind of the way it works. You get Uber ad, you get time to damage them where you can't take it back, and then you win. I feel like China National is forgetting about that middle part, where they're getting these advantages and they're just saying, oh, we have Uber ad, so we're going to win. And then they're not taking time to do the fundamentals of, yes, you have Uber ad, so you won't lose the fight. But if you don't bring hit scan in to kill the pyro, guess what happens to your Uber ad? You get stuck for the first 5.5 seconds of it. And then by the time that you actually kill that pyro and get any meaningful space, you don't have any invulnerability left. It's like they're playing kind of by the numbers without actually realizing why things are the way they are. I'm not doing the greatest job explaining that, but having a sniper ad is great, right? But realistically, what it means is you can play wider angles. You can make their demo man less effective. You can control more space. And that will usually lead to winning a fight. But it feels like China National is getting a sniper ad, then just walking forward grouped together, ignoring the actual tangible benefit of that pick, and just thinking, oh, we've got sniper ad, so we're going to win the fight. You see where I'm coming from with that?
I absolutely am seeing where you're coming from for that. Absolutely. Now, looking at the second half, though, Alto, because let's be real, the audience loves your brain. They love when you talk. They love you. Let's be real. When it comes to the second half, where we're looking at BBC going ahead and being in the driver's seat, especially because they are now going to set the expectation for the time that they get. And after that beautiful push that we just saw, I have high hopes. It could be, we could see 9 minutes, we could see 7. But what are your thoughts in terms of what we need to see from second half for China National to secure this second half?
I think just being a little bit more deliberate. They had tons of advantages throughout that and failed to convert them. You look at the logs, Nines has double Manfard's stats, true, but almost all of Manfard's stats were in terrible positions that should have, if played correctly, led to a point conversion that they just weren't able to get. Manfard dropping when holding aggro on third should have been an immediate third cap when it ended up with them holding another 3 minutes. We've litigated over the the Profire Wrangler 4K, right? That shouldn't have happened. If China National was playing more solidly, that full Uber ad should have been enough. They need to keep up what they're doing in terms of getting these ads and then being a little bit more deliberate about how they play them. A little bit more, okay, we have an Uber ad. All right, now we got to bring the scout in to kill the pyro. You know what I mean? We have sniper ad. Slow play this a little bit further. We killed their medic, right? Don't immediately say, oh, we killed their medic, we're going to win the cap. It means they don't have heals. All your spam damage is going to stick. Play slow. Convert the spam damage into either, make them back up to spawn or kill them type of play. On the side of BBC, I mean, they've been so good at salvaging, right? But what happens if they're not playing on the back foot so often? You'd see it'd be pretty dominant performance, and I'd really like, for their sake, to see them be able to pull that off.
Dude, I don't know what just happened, but for a moment you just went from like 1080p in your voice to 4K, and you sound really good right now, Amma. What the heck? Regardless though, Agree. Hard agree. I think a lot of these times, take your time, depending on what kind of pick you have. Try to convert from that point in time and just kind of identify what the situation is without just gun running right into the play. Again, we understand. Everyone has been in that situation where you want to go too fast, you try to make a play, and then you're going 120 miles per hour on the Autobahn, and you're surprised whenever your car goes ahead and turns into a sandwich when you collide with the wall. You're going too fast. And at this point in time, if they go ahead and convert that into a pace that's more comfortable for them, absolutely, they can go ahead and convert this into a half two. But if we do not see it, if they make the same mistakes or very similar mistakes, we will see BBC take this map for themselves. Absolutely. So it's all about how bad does China National want that dub. And from how they've been playing, they absolutely want that dub. They just got to play a little bit smarter to get that dub. You feel me?
Exactly. And I mean, they're doing the hard stuff, right? They're getting the advantages. They're, holding last for 5+ minutes, not giving up really any major picks up until, when they finally lose their med. But 5 minutes on last is what is, you'd be happy with that every time. I think. Do we have a pause?
What? I was about to be like, a pause in pregame? I mean, hey, it be how it be. Looking at it too. Wait a second. Shooter for pause right here too, man. Looking at it, I don't know. Some of these sets look kind of ugly. Oh my goodness, no wonder they lost. Jesus, Scourge. I'm gonna keep it real with you, player. Change this sniper set, bro. Change it immediately, my guy. I can't. Me no can do this, brother. I can't do with this set, bro. I have to be upfront with you. I'm so sorry. No BM, but you gotta change the set. You look like
is that bad?
Nah, it's bad. It's bad, bro. I gotta say, change it up. Change it up right now. Go ahead and get the whatever that hat is for sniper that makes him bald. Go ahead and get that up. Can't do this, man. It's not looking too hot.
Leave it at that. I wanna get your thoughts on Big Flu Walrus is heavy.
I also just learned that's not Flu Walrus. That's actually just
not.
That's normal Walrus.
I was thinking, I'm like, weird that they're going by Walrus, and you called them Flu. I'm like, oh, all right, that must be Flu.
See, I thought it was Flu. I thought it was Flu, and then people are like, nah, that's not Flu Walrus. You're brain dead. That's not Flu Walrus. That's just Walrus. And all I gotta say is, listen, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, TF2 viewers. There's too many of the same name. If you look at a cookie, there's too many cookies. You got Sixers cookie. You got Fours cookie. You have Highlander cookie. You have Brazilian cookie. There's too many aliases, man. There's too many people with the same aliases. Make a unique alias. Well, regardless, what were you about to say, also? You wanted my thoughts on who? Go ahead and say.
I was gonna say on Walrus's fit.
Walrus's fit. Let me see it. Wait. Homeless heavy. Wait. This set is fire. Oh, see, the thing is, with the newer case, they added like the ski mask for heavy. I didn't even realize that. Wait, I'm about to be evil, and I'm about to play Highlander heavy only, just because of this cosmetic. Nah, this is a good set. Homeless heavy. He's got a theme going on. He looks like he doesn't have any money. He looks like he would ask you for a drink for you only not to give it to him. I would not give him any food if I saw him on the street. That's a good set. I'm still looking at some sets that are kind of poop though. I'm still looking at Scourge. Humphrey ain't got no hats. No, he got a bandana. Oh, nah, he emo. Humphrey's emo. You watching this? This is an emo set. I think everyone else is pretty themed though. I think everyone else has a pretty good set though, also. I think the best one, simple, clean, proves his point. I gotta say, Tree Monkey. Tree Monkey got the best set right now. The best set in the server right now. Simple, clean. I don't know what the theme he's going for, but I mess with it.
Is what I'm seeing. He's got the coat, he's got the hat, and then is there a third in there?
I think it's just he's got like a medal, just the coat and the hat. Just a nice little theme, man. Nice little theme. Oh, wait. He's also got he's got a stink unusual. Is the team just like, is it stinky? No shower? no shower unusual or no shower, whatever it is. But
TF2 player standard, after all.
you know, after going to lands, TF2 players smell good. I will admit. The worst venue probably was Brawlhalla. I've heard my brother's a big Brawlhalla person, and Brawlhalla player. It's a little stinky though. A little stinky. I gotta admit, but that's from my brother. That's just how it is. Respectfully though, I thought we were moving servers though, but regardless though.
Yeah, not sure.
Oh, item servers. Wait. Oh my god. TF2 update. Oh my god.
Why is they gonna update the localization files again? Get hype!
Well, they announced the MVM update on the blog. I don't know if you heard about that one.
Yeah, so they needed MVM maps. I don't know if that's just gonna be like a community update or what. I think people get to see any movement from Valve and start freaking out when like temper yourself.
That's true.
Setting yourself up for disappointment here.
That's actually facts. That's facts. I say, I'm trying to think along this line of like, if they come up with a banger map, if the map's banger, it'll be goated. It'd be beautiful. I just need some solid maps. I finally need, if they give us new items too, please, I beg, by the grace of God, please give us Australian Brass Beast. That's all I ask. I main demo. I'm a simple man. I just want the golden brass beast. That's all I want. Please help me. It's already
golden.
No, it's fake gold. It's yellow, bro. It is not. It's not real. It's not real gold. I want shiny. I want it to the point that if I turn off Matte Fong 0, it just makes it look ugly. I need true gold. Or something stupid. Like, give me an Australian rap assassin. Give me something stupid. It doesn't matter. I will take it. Thank you very much.
All right. Let's split the difference. We'll give you Australian gloves of running urgently.
Gloves of running urgently? You know what? Give me Fist of Steel and I'll be okay. Give me Aussie Fist of Steel. Australian Bison Dolphin? What?
That feels a little too gimmicky. Australian Cow Mangler? That would feed families.
Australian Cow Mangler would absolutely feed families. I think wait, you actually cooked with that one, Alto. Wait a second. Phew. No wonder you're beautiful. Man's beautiful and can cook. Cook with the sentences. Yeah, you already know. Nah, they definitely owe us some. Like, we need an Australian Phlogistinator. We need an Australian Rainblower. I get it. It's already gold, but it's fake. We do need a lock and load. We need a loose cannon. We have been overdue on the Australian loose cannon.
We have. We need the loose cannon would be phenomenal.
And
need that.
Go ahead.
Hit me with an Australian. I'm trying to think. What do we not have?
Well, we don't have an Australian revolver though. We've been super.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, I was thinking about that, but no, we've got the Ambi, right?
We are super overdue for an Australian revolver, bro. There's no way they don't add that in. I'll kind of be pissed if they don't add that in. I'm not gonna hold you.
Yeah, no, I was thinking, I assumed that was already in, but no, we don't quite have that. Give me an Australian Solemn Vow.
Ooh, wait, you're cooking with fire. You're cooking with instant fuel coal on a hot summer day, and you're cooking cochinha, which is just basically Brazilian cow butt on the grill. I don't know why I had to be that specific, but that's facts. And we don't have an Australian shotgun, bro. What's up with that? No Australian shotgun is kind of crazy. Just saying, bro. Dolphins sell Australian milk. I'm dead, bro. Man, it's not even milk. It says non-milk substance.
We don't have a crossbow either, do we? No, we got a Blutsauger.
No, we do not even.
For some fucking reason.
Dude, yeah, why do we have an Australian Blutsauger, dude? If anything, if any needle gun should have got it, it should have been an overdose. No one's using a Blutsauger like that. It should have been an overdose. It looks prettier. You had 90% Uber. You can run faster. Come on, bro. Ain't no one using that gun. It's a troll weapon, bro. Oh, but... Ooh, someone said Australian.
Okay.
Ham.
Imagine the drip of Australian Highlander with an Australian Targe.
Ooh, wait, you're kind of cooking again. Hold up. Hold up. See, but here's the thing. If we get an Australian Targe in charge, we should automatically get an Australian Scottish resistance. Even though it's kind of boo-boo. It's a boo-boo weapon, but you gotta give me like a combo deal. I need some type of combo deal. Speaking of combos too, ladies and gentlemen, we may be going live soon. The game is coming back. Also, if you had, because what you play, you play Scout Medic? I can't remember.
Med.
If you had to see another med weapon for sure, because you said Solemn Bow, but I'm talking. Let's say they didn't do that and they gave you the Vital Soul. How mad would you be? Unironically.
60 seconds.
I mean, hard to be more upset than getting the Blutsauger of all things, but it might inspire me to try to start ringing med for like main and IM teams to try to see how many organs I can farm off of like spies that are trying to kill me, because I do not fear them. Nor do I fear the scouts down there either, honestly.
Mission begins in 30
Wait, that's true. Wait, hold up. Wait, I think Scourge listened to me though. He changed his set. Am I wrong? Wait, he got something better on right now. He got a better hat on right now. Oh, wait a second. Hold up, and it's still ugly.
Mission begins in 10 seconds.
Oh, my boy. But listen, 5 seconds left, man. At this point in time, we're going to see, does China National want the dub? Do they want the kill? Or does CBC need the thrill, Big Alto?
Well, Scourge's hat change has anything to do with it. It'll be, it might give China National another leg up. If the fit checks out their column, they're just getting in for free. Nines hit so low, just knocked off the map, but gonna stay alive and stay on the cliff with the rest of the team. That was dangerous that early.
Oh my god. You know what? I take it back. I literally was watching Scourge camp that entire bomb. No one looked at him. No, everyone feared him because of the hat. I apologize formally. Please, it's not ugly. It's a great hat. What we are going to see, though, is the beam is out, though, also. We could see a potential exchange come out from Traps.
Yep, they're already getting forward here. They've crossed so far over. Witch getting aggro, but Mr. Popo finds Manfart. So aggressive, milking that Uber. Milks just a little bit too long. AC-130 gonna go down, so that gun can get slowly chipped out if they get an angle on it, but that is the only kill. Otherwise, it is a graveyard of BBC players here on first. And this first one looks like it's gonna keep going.
We went from a potential exchange to the stock market just dropping. And that drop was from Mr. Popo going ahead and making all these deals. But we're still taking, even regardless, BBC taking tracks, trying to fight as a unit. Walrus and Tree Monkey going to go ahead and die. Thomas, ooh, gonna get picked off by BBC. But now look what Mr. Popo picks off two, which is Witch and Colin. Stopping this entire push, this entire dry fight from even becoming a thought, from even being anything. With 2 minutes and 45 seconds left on the clock, still holding, and they're not giving it up. Oh no.
No, they almost took out Humphrey too. He got down to about 10 HP. They just weren't able to land the final shot. He goes down. You're probably looking at a different hold right now. I love the kind of coordination from BBC to keep pulling off these sacks. Try to find something when really they shouldn't be getting anything. But Colin gets hit low. The Uber gets forced out super early. Manfart gonna get it off this time. They're trying to have Witch pull people off the cliff. Not gonna find it though. BBL and Witch both going down. Way better Uber for the defense. Battalions gets popped out. Over the top comes in Boss. They're gonna slowly start picking him off. Manfart stays alive, but Tree Monkey in on the side assassinates Nines. And that, if anything, should have to signal the back out here sooner rather than later.
Oh, if they unironically still hold this with Uber this ad gun, I mean, listen, if they feel really confident, if they're feeling froggy, then jump. Definitely go do what you gotta do. Mr. Popo is gonna get picked off though by the Cleaver from pre-alpha. No information for the side of China National. And like I said, like also said, BBC still has, Uber has realistically the work with now that Nines is dead. But Profire gonna get picked up by Thomas, who's still holding his position. Also, I think they want to still hold it despite the Uber ad.
Yeah, they don't seem to care. I mean, Thomas activates and assassinates Proflyer, you know, they're playing a little bit more passive maybe than they were before. I think the back out is slowly moving along. They know that Uber ad is coming, but they've milked so much time off of first right here. You love to see it. You know, the cap not even in yet. You're at a minute left. This is going to be, what, 3.5 minutes off of first? And you're able to back out, and now the Uber ads are going to be even.
3.5 minutes shaved just off the first point. And we did see that China National was, you know, despite some of the other points we weren't seeing, their last point and their third point was still pretty solid, especially with the gun officially going back, being moved by Ness. Now we're looking at an even Uber situation. Actually, the Uber does come out. Exchange comes out. Big witches in the air, going to side tunnel, trying to get this pick. Right on the boss, but boss is staying away. He does not want to even fight that. But the Ubers have an exchange at this point, although it's going to look like a dry fight coming in with Humphrey dead too.
Yet we saw BBC able to dry push this Tree Monkey way in deep, getting behind, gonna get a whack on it to 9, going into. That's another med kill for Tree Monkey, 2 for 2 thus far. BBL pinching in on the side, AC-130 gonna end up trading out. Tree Monkey, a menace on this fight. Humphrey goes down, and all of the dominoes, just one after another, a brutal offense. They're already moving into third.
Oh my gosh, Humphrey being disconnected from the team only for a short bit, but yeah, like you said, they're super aggressive. They do not want to give them the time of day. Bump banter out from boss. No one is dying. We're just looking at players just kind of go back and forth. We're seeing a lot of the combos actually on flank. Manfar 20 HP, but still living with these movements. He's dancing. Oh, and he's not going to get picked off by boss. Unfortunate, you know, at that time could potentially try to get out. They tried the best, the body block for him, but it's not going to be enough to get him out also.
If we get that Uber, things could be looking fantastic for them right now. But yeah, the tap shoes, not quite enough magic in them to keep them alive for that last 3%. They're going to have to find a way now to get in here with full ad on the side of China National. Thomas playing aggro, not going to really find anything, but BBL caught out. Enough to get the gun though. Thomas going to get picked. Tree Monkey causing a lot of damage. They get the force out. That's all they need. Manfart is long gone. Merely a memory on this third point, all the way back out on second. That sack's exactly what you want to see.
When you walk away. Oh my goodness. You gonna hear me say, please don't sack on me. Oh no. But just as we're seeing it too, Uber ad for the side of Big BBC. And you know, it looks like this time we weren't seeing a lot of Russian. Ooh, and Mr. Popo does get picked. So no information for the side of China National. Big headshot coming out from Scourge. Scourge is actually hitting some pretty solid shots actually this half, which is insane. It's insane, bro. But as we're looking at it again, still Uber ad for the side of BBC, and they take this in also, and it's looking pretty disastrous, I'd say.
Yeah, they're not getting anything. They're gonna finally take out the pyro. The gun stays alive though, and Bellman's getting a counter step immediately. Things are all in China National favor right here, and I don't know if they have any juice left to keep pushing this. Colin gonna try to find something off the cart, but will be forced back sooner rather than later. I mean, it looked, everyone just kited back. No chase, no gun kill. They needed more players in on that to hold the space.
Scourge, I'm sorry for everything I've said, bro. The hat is beautiful. Your shots are beautiful. Your position is crispy. You're going ahead. You're taking this confidence. I love seeing it. I love confident snipers. It's the way I live. Big at this point in time, BBC, we're looking to see if we can just kind of maybe work our big Melvin in at this point in time. Gun down on the side by Proflyer, but nothing else, no trades, just trying to go ahead and try and set up for some type of play. I wanted to see where BBL was, which he's just trying to gun spot, as both teams are pretty much just going to wait until they both have Uber and see if they can work something off this also.
If they go in, they have 2 players, Aggro and Hell as well, but Prialpha and Melvin going to be the first to go down. It is a rout right now in favor of China National. They are taking no prisoners. MK going to finally get taken out as the only consolation for BBC, but that's going to be it. 9's worth of sentry gun kill, just as some gravy. They're super aggro playing up right now, and this third hold is looking like the King's hold was ordered.
MK collecting these kills like he collected change at a coin store machine out of Walmart, bro. What is happening right now as I'm saying it? Both these teams came to play. They came to dominate with a big sack in the air. Oh my! Tree Monkey get hit with the air blast, air shot, the reflect. It was looking beautiful. Humphrey and Scourge are dead, but they still keep 9's alive. And that sack was pretty much everybody. Oh my dick though. Oh my dick. They don't dick. Oh my God, also, it's crazy. What's happening, bro?
And I mean, but that's how you're supposed to play. That's what you want to see from a team. You don't have Uber ad, get a huge sack, and you're able to get, you know, a demo kill. In this case, you're not really able to capitalize on it. But now they're going to pop out Uber. They have the battalions. It's going to fade already. Mr. Popo's dead, so at least there's a slight player ad right now. Melvin getting peak aggro by by Humphrey right there. Gonna stay alive to help provide some extra presence here. Boss getting taken out. BBC able to get some advantages for themselves and try to convert them. They're gonna go right back in favor of China National though, and that cart's still not up the hill. But Colin finds Scourge.
Oh, this will be say that. Oh, and Big Tree Monkey getting levitated, but Colin in trying to be like, trying to be like Tyrese Hamilton, just like the finals we saw, but gonna go ahead and tear the Achilles, but no MK, no Dick, no no MK, no Dick, no Scourge who's gonna come back. BBL getting picked up as well, trying to just get these sacks out, trying to get this damage, trying to get this card pressure as they finally get card up and they go ahead and just take it with all these players just left. They kill the people on the cart and nobody from the side of China National is dying, but a hold that gives them 9 minutes also. 9 minutes, and they haven't done the last hold yet, brother.
That is longer than their entire offense before. And remember, it took them 6 minutes to get last the first time. Melvin, though, gonna open up onto Scourge. Could be something to capitalize off of. It would just be how Highlander works, right? If we see a complete inversion of how the times worked last time. Uber coming in from Big Door, but Great Denial coming out from Dick right there. Which gonna be the only one going down. Walrus gonna be next, taken out on the side. Gonna be hard to imagine them winning this. They find Thick, the gun just getting rebuilt as well, but great pipe from Humphrey onto pre-alpha, and they're gonna have to, BBC's gonna have to back off onto this one.
Ooh, Ness actually getting picked off by BBL. No gun. If they wanted to sack it and try to do a little something, they absolutely could. It doesn't look like they're doing it as of yet, though, especially with Ness being, I think it's at a 20-second spawner, but his level 1's still up, which is exactly what's happening. We're seeing the sack with a little air sticky, though. But man, with 9s, dodging it all, the surfing, the AD strafe, not gonna get him killed this time, and the perfect presidential Secret Service that China National went and gave him as well. Spectacular. Still gonna go ahead and keep the Uber. The sack did not get the kill they were looking to get, Alto.
Yep, 9s hit a little bit of a pencil on that surf, but just the height was all he needed just to dodge the rest of the projectiles coming in right there, not able to connect on that air shot, Colin or Tree Monkey. But they've got Uber up. They're aggro right here. They're going to go right back and get a lot of damage on Humphrey. Right off the bat, this gun, though, staying alive, slowly getting chipped down, which gets dropped in the Uber. The Popo picks up free off the Scourge, finds Tree Monkey. Everything's coming up China National. I regretted that the second I started to say it, but it is great right now if you're China National. This last defense is looking solid. I thought I was going to have more to follow up on that, then I realized, I don't know, Mandarin. What am I saying?
They hit the loud gun mom, man. They did what they had to do. What we're looking at, too, is still add, in the sky once again, Tree Monkey. Oh, but gonna get denied. Nice shots from Scourge. Nah, they want this win. Boss currently on a 9K, a 9-kill streak. They go ahead, Boss. That's easy money, Boss, because he going ahead and he cashing out all this paper from all these kills he getting on these players. Still, Uber at for the side of China National. We're looking at 2 minutes and 5 seconds left also. They could do another sack. They could wait for the Uber, but they have to be proactive. BBC absolutely has to be proactive if they want to try to do something. And at this point, we're just kind of dwindling time. We're just going to wait until we get Uber and try to go ahead for the exchange.
And I mean, again, this entire time they've been entirely avoiding flank. They did the same thing last time, and now the Uber's coming out again, just gonna get juggled thick. The Great Wall of China right here. Scourge will get picked off, though, by Mr. Popo on the side. Equalizes with interest. Tree Monkey gonna get reflected. Boss going down. BDO finds 9s. Gonna be enough to get the cart up the ramp right here, but Walrus on only a sliver of health. The arrow tank from Minfar, but in comes Popo. It won't be enough. They managed to sneak it in right here. You know, no flank pressure, no problem. They're able to just, you know, they bang their head against that wall enough time. Eventually, it starts to crumble.
Ooh, but even with that going on, we're looking at a 12-minute and 35-second push, which, you know, guaranteed we were looking at, I think, 10 minutes and 38 seconds.
10 and a half the first time.
Just about. So, 2 minutes more to shave it. But regardless, China National had a solid first hold. They could have went for glory, and they realistically almost did. So at this point in time, if they could just push on a 12-minute and 35-second push, this could be half number 2 for Alto from BBC. What were we seeing? What was different from China National aggression from China National defense this time than the other time? What you think?
Just better defense on nines, I think, was a big one. And they weren't, chasing as far. They were less greedy. They weren't bleeding players as often. They were prepared for BBC's sacks as well. It feels like a lot of teams don't actually sack as much as they should. So you come into it, it can really catch you by surprise when you see that true 7-man coming in. But, they're getting used to it. Nines is playing appropriately. They know they're gunning for the med. They've been able to get the Royal Guard up. And they've just been able to, stop BBC from getting any real advantages.
With that being said, too, and it's huge Mr. Poop pick! Mr. Popo pick! I said Mr. Poop, I'm so sorry. Please don't hurt me. Please don't hurt me. As the Uber change immediately coming out, too. As we're just trying to get this gun, but this gun is doing its best. Living Walrus getting picked up. Scourge is alive, and he's ready to frag. As we're seeing the big bomb from Tree Monkey trying to go ahead and collect his money. He's going to collect one, but that's going to be it, one and done. As the rest of China National are standing their ground, keeping this cart and keeping it at bay with a first point secure. They could not do the same thing that BBC tried to go ahead and do, or that China National was doing to BBC at this point. Also, this is crazy, man.
Yep, no 3.5-minute hold here. That initial pick onto Colin, in 10 seconds into the round, he must have just cloaked out, ran in, immediately decloaked in his shadow, and gotten that pick is huge, and he falls again!
Mr. Popo with the pick again! F-Man get to Humphrey! Pipe City with Thomas! Fast forward Thomas, real Thomas, FF Thomas, dash Thomas, making a statement at this point in time. They want this half, and they are not giving it up for anything. Also, full ad, going in the third, have some time to go ahead and play some of these players, get them in the right position before they even think about taking the Super.
Need someone to check on Chalk right now and see if he's unconscious, possessing Thomas as he's walking up here, getting ready to move forward on tracks. The full Uber from Nines, they're getting in position. This Uber's going to get popped shortly. I think... so I say, they're showing some hesitation. They know they've got time, but Mr. Popo, now they can go. Opens it up, finds the sniper. They're milking this Uber. Everyone's so passive on BBC, expecting it to come out. Finally going to use now, but now they're getting the heavy into it as well. This is going to be a snowball all the way in through third.
Oh my goodness gracious, they get the car up the hill. Despite them losing, BBO is dead. No information for the side of BBC at this point in time. Like you said, they're going to pretty much take this and try to snowball. It doesn't look like we're seeing an immediate set coming out from China National, but that was nice. I did see at one point that I thought they were going to take the Uber a little bit too fast, but they did what they had to do. They played it well, especially with what they have. But they have 9 minutes to try to push in the last, which I think is already crazy.
Really 10. I mean, I think the longest last hold we've seen on cast was like 7.5, 8.5 minutes, so would be a cast record if they're somehow able to hold this. Good damage on the Scourge, gonna force him back, but they're already starting to get aggressive, and that's good to see. AC-130, Mr. Popo, Boss, Thomas, maybe they'll start to activate a little bit on this last point, maybe. Could be what the doctor ordered if you're BBC, and I mean, even if you're, let's be realistic here, you're not winning this half, but if you can at least get a solid defense off, right, get 3-4 minutes off of this, you can move into that last half, saying, all right, we're not completely washed. We fumbled a little bit, we pulled it back together. Impossible task, we did our best for it. Let's tighten up in game 3.
Oh, BBL Drizzy making a statement. Uber Exchange coming out too, and it looks like that statement wants to be dry fight with Popo. Getting a pick on the Melvin before getting traded out by Walrus. Scourge, this is about to be his domain. Dick getting the pick on the Witch, but getting picked by Colin, who gets picked up by Walrus. To Rumper, who's shooting the gun, but needs one people to shoot the gun. A Saul for the side of Nines, putting ad again back in the favor of Big China National. 2 Sauls, huge ad for the side of China National. Oh my God, this is about to be another match. Hey, Popo!
he's this is obscene. He has not been stopped. I think every single decloak he's gone for, he has gotten a kill. Mr. Popo is annihilating BBC right now. Just when it looks like maybe they pull off a miracle defense, maybe start to stabilize even with Uber defense, nah. Manfart's, Mr. Popo snaps his fingers, Manfart disintegrates. Got the infinity knife right now. BBL! Oh! Getting some counter espionage in for the maybe just trying to siphon some of that aura off of him. Give it into himself. Get ready for that third half. Flank pressure really big right now, though. Tremonkey's just gonna get W1 down by thick. They've got so much space to potentially walk in here. I think they're just waiting for the Uber ad. Might even go a little bit before that. In comes Boss! Oh! And Manfart evaporates!
Oh my God! Turned into a Christmas dinner. Oh, and he's gonna go ahead and get her. Goodness gracious! Going ahead, all over the place. Wait, Nine, get out of there. This BBL is looking at you. Oh, Nine, get out of there. BBL wants you, Nine. BBL needs you, Nine. BBL doesn't need you, Nine. As he's gonna go ahead. Now he's not gonna get a clean getaway, but he gets away with the kill on Nines, taking one of his lives. Go ahead and change your name to Eighths, man. That's crazy, dude. Oh my God, insanity, brother.
It's a miracle BBC is still holding this, truthfully. They've had every single bad thing happen to them thus far on this last. Feels like they haven't even had an Uber yet, and they managed to continually hold it. Boss not going to crash into Manfart at Mach 8 this time, but Mr. Popo now onto Tremonkey, gonna help open up flank. And, he's still got another decloak in him, probably. Walking up, trying to get through. BBL getting just some information. Seeing Scourge big door. Flank pressure starting to come in right now, as is Red Room. BBL caught out. So no more Spy Thomas. Threat coming in. And Mr. Popo gets Melvin. He's unstoppable.
And with that opens up a lot more room for Scourge to go ahead and take this big door, play with this mini. He is going to get hit with some flames, but regardless of that, with Thomas dying, Uber does come out, which, it's going to be better for the side of China National, but a lot of players are hurting this post, but they don't matter. They want to take that in, but you have to take that into account, regardless of how you're looking at it, which they're just trying to take a little fight. Humphrey getting picked up by BBL, Think going ahead get picked up by Pre-Alpha, Waterstar, and then Mr. Popo, and again, it's just trying to fight for this card. Thomas trying to make a statement, but the statement is nothing with BBL coming right there. Oh my God, in profile. Oh, Scourge! Oh my God, what's happening? It's an all-you-can-eat buffet, and it's for China National. Ni hao Kailan, Lao Gunma. Oh, and it's Switch getting the reflect kill before dying to Mr. Popo before they get the card. It's securing half 2 for China National Team Fortress 2.
Mr. Popo got 5 in that fight. I've played a season of Spy, right? Vigil offense Spy, not the funnest of times. Your decloak options are fairly limited. Your crosses aren't great. A lot of the times if your team's struggling, you're kind of limited just being a sap bot. Make sure you can get the gun. Hope someone else on the sack gets something. Someone in chat, here's a challenge for you. Go rewatch this offense. Did Mr. Popo go a single life without getting a kill?
I think he got every kill that life.
He's 28-17!
No, he's not. You're lying. No, he's not.
He's
no way.
28-17
No, he's not. Oh.
On offense, Vigil Spy!
Oh my. Mr. Popo! Mr. Popo!
Okay, he had some time on defense as well. But I gotta pull up these logs on my own.
600 DPM from Humphrey! Oh my God. It's, dare I say it? It's a nuke. It's a nuke. It's so beautiful.
Mr. Popo had 13 kills on offense Spy on Vigil. That is sick. Including 2 meds. God knows how many snipers. He's 28-17.
Oh
look at his KD against the rest of the team. He's in a different game.
Oh my God. It's dare I say, it's his world. It's his world. It's Mr. Popo's world. Although it's a world. It's entirely
We're all
world.
just living in it, brother. We're all just living in it.
We're living in it. It's his world, bro. It's his world, bro. What is happening, bro? 28 kills, bro. It's his world, man. What I absolutely loved from that is that China National came out this half gunning, absolutely gunning. A defense that was looking what's a candy that's easy to break? I don't know. I don't know at this point.
Kit Kat.
Kit Kat, looking like a Kit Kat kind of hole, man. Looking like first half, looking kind of shaky, kind of scary. But then you know what Humphrey said? I don't know who rallied the troops, but I'm gonna say it's Thomas. I'm gonna give Thomas that. I'm gonna give Thomas and Mr. Popo. And regardless what you see on the sniper KD, regardless what you see on these kills were pivot. These kills were pivot. Important kills to go ahead and lead the team into success. But China National came out gunning, changed the defense to make it a lot more secure, fortified, only for the aggressive push. Every single push, it felt like it was less, except last, of course. Every single push felt like it was less than a minute 30. Less than a minute 30 for a lot of these pushes, able to just, like all in Alto's words, able to just snowball it immediately into last. We're seeing some gameplay unfolding here, and I gotta tell you, it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, Mr. Popo's doing things on Vigil Spy I previously not thought possible. But if you're BBC, there's a silver lining to this very dark cloud, right? You know exactly where all of your problems are coming from. You did not have a single 9v9 defense that entire hold. Colin got stabbed 8 seconds into the round, and that was it. He was gone from the game.
Oh my gosh.
Everything else comes off of that, right? If, you're able to get at least one hold stabilized somewhere, get some time off, I mean, you're looking at a lot closer of a half, and even with all of that, truthfully, I think China National could have pushed a faster last.
They could have, absolutely. There was a time where they had Uber Ed. The guaranteed they had to wait for Cart. Understandable, you have to wait for Cart. But there was a point where Cart was on. I would say not around the corner, just about, but it was pretty much getting up the main little track. And had certain people been positioned the way they could, it could have been just like a hold to spawn, force them out of the right door, have them come and meet you to try to fight for Cart. Guaranteed, I think, if I had to remember right, I believe Nines and someone else died within that post-Uber. So not really too much could happen. But what I can tell you, though, is that even still, if China National keeps up this beautiful aggression, oh my gosh, if they keep up this beautiful aggression, this could be it. Realistically, we are at third half. It is anybody's game at this point in time. And we are looking at a time to where this could be spectacular for either team, realistically. BBC at that point, like you said, they did not have 9 players for the entirety of some of these defensive pushes, which they're most likely going to look for now. But what's going to be interesting, too, is, oh my gosh, if BBC can hold this defense down, especially if they try to copy the first hold that we just saw China National do to them, it could be solid. They could get a good head start, but again, it all depends on how these dynamics are going to realistically play within each other.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't want to take anything away from Mr. Popo, but he's not truly doing things no one's seen before on Spy.
For sure.
He's decloaking there's only so many spots you can decloak in on Vigil on offense Spy. He's getting kill after kill in last. He's walking to spawn. He's decloaking behind the wall, and he's walking out and surprising someone. Like, that's not unstoppable. This isn't like, he's spin botting on Sniper and he's killing everyone across the map before they can respond. What he's doing is stoppable. It is on BBC to stop him. They did not do that, and that's kind of the advantage they got by winning the first half, right? They can mess up this half and still not be out of it. Because remember, they need to win this half if they want to make playoffs, which would be a pretty incredible, I would say, upset story from them making it that far in. But, they're going to have to stop Mr. Popo. They're going to have to kill Humphrey more often. They're going to need to protect their med. And moreover, I think they're going to need to, on offense, find ways of getting advantages that aren't just 7-man sacks.
Realistically, too, if one thing that I do think we are going to see is we're going to see China Nationals, the aggressive push, slow down just a tad, just a tad bit more. I'd say I couldn't give you the time of what they pushed out. Probably 9 minutes, 9 minutes and 30.
7 minutes, which a great time, but they spent 4.5 minutes on last.
Mm-hmm.
Which kind of goes to show how insane their 1 through 3 offense was, but like even with Manfard on a respawn timer for the entirety of last, or so it felt like, they still held it for 4.5 minutes, which you gotta again look at a silver lining there. It's like, yeah, we can hold last against this team pretty strong if we just manage to shut down this spy.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw in the first half they're able to play the 1 through 3 better, so they just gotta execute.
I will say, this is about to be fire. I will say China Nationals push is going to be a lot slower than what we were seeing. I do think, at this point, you get a half, you get both teams who can kind of take a glance at each other, what they did wrong, especially because I can already tell you, BBL is giving his team the speech, the motivational speech. I'm talking pep talk like you ain't never seen a pep talk. I'm talking you were depressed and sat in your room in the corner, and BBL came through the door, and all of a sudden you're ready to run a 6K out of nowhere because of this motivational speech. He's letting them know. I think we're going to see China National move a little. We're going to see him a lot slower. I don't think they're going to push in 7 minutes again. If they do, prove me wrong. Absolutely prove me wrong. But what we're absolutely going to see is China National most likely work a little bit slower. I would not be surprised if we see like a 9 minutes 45-second push, or even like an 11-minute 30 push. I would not be surprised to see it. But if I don't see that, I'll eat my own words. But like I said, the motivational speech that BBO is giving this team at this point, we just got to make sure that Colin's not dying at these really important times when we're trying to hold. And if we can just get a control on Mr. Popo, especially depending on how you're looking at it, then realistically we can try to put it anywhere else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I think stopping Mr. Popo is the first step, because if you don't do that, you don't have much of a future here. That last half was remarkable, phenomenal. You can put all the superlatives you want on it. You as a team cannot expect your spy to do that. Great when it happens, but there's a reason why we freaked out so much, because in all likelihood, not going to happen again. BBC is going to be hyper aware of it, and everyone else then on the team needs to take advantage of that, knowing that, yeah, they're going to be a little bit more cautious. They're going to be looking behind themselves a little bit more. We can hopefully take advantage of that and, create enough space where, yeah, either Mr. Popo can still find things, or, if they're going to overcommit to stopping him, we can take advantage of that.
I think at this point in time they're gonna try to do the containment center on Mr. Popo. They're gonna contain him like what they call it, like the SCP Foundation. They're gonna go ahead and keep him contained, but it's all for the marbles. Whoever
Secure,
contain
contain, Popo.
Secure, contain, Popo. The game has started. Both teams, of course, have Uber, and we are actually seeing BBC not do the forward hold with Mr. Popo.
He's been stopped!
Secure. Contained.
We did it! He's been contained!
Popo. They're not going to do the first hold. They don't want to have a repeat of what happened earlier. They just want to go ahead and give him the first point and pretty much go from there. They're not just giving it for free. Scourge dying to Melvin with Boss getting picked up by Pre-Alpha as well. So the picks are slowly but surely trying to edge him. Walrus getting picked up by Mr. Popo. He's back. He got his bands. He said, give me my get back. I'm going to need that. Wait, what? Oh, I thought,
Tries to rush uphill with the power jack out. Put down in the dirt. Realizes how greedy he was. Drops the wall in chat. They're going to back out. Anytime you go for that passive hold on first, you're looking about a minute regardless. But, they are fully set up on second. There's no Uber disad to worry about. Everything's going up exactly how they want it. They're willing to trade the potential of a longer first hold for the safety of a guaranteed second. And here they come. Thomas is going to come out of tunnel. I think we've got a sack coming in right here. Melvin going to go down. But that may be about it. Profire next. And here comes in Thick. Gets the force. The Pyro jumping around. Finds the Uber. That is about as successful of a sack as you can ask for. 9 sitting pretty on full.
Bro, that sack was the equivalent of Dale from King of the Hill throwing pocket sand in that one guy's face. That's straight up what that was. That was a pocket sand sack. Oh my goodness, that was crazy. With the Uber coming through him. Main no, heavy no, Chuck. Look away, Chunk. There's no Plutus. As the gun goes down. Wait, it could be. No Plutus. It's going to be a main Uber. No. At this point in time, they're playing back. We are seeing BBC play back. Uber does come out. It is a H2. It is a air Uber. It is a airball Uber. It got space. You did what you had to do. Tree Monkey did get hit with that thing from Thick, and at this point in time, we are looking from ad from BBC, but you know, we still made some time. We got a sack. We set up what we had to do, and we got a second point also.
And to China National's credit, right, if this was the first half, I feel like they take that ad, use in immediately, manage to fail the cap, go a little bit slower, you know, they put some pressure on. You know that they can't pop Uber back. They make them get all backed up into Shutter. They take Hill. You know, finally, yeah, they end up having to use the Uber there, so Manfart's got an ad on third right now. But you're able to successfully convert the second, and the Uber just gets forced out here on third. I don't know if BBC was trying to get aggro with it or it was a force, but that ad going right back in favor of 9. Things are looking phenomenal. If you're China National, Mr. Popo goes down, but you have Uber ad.
It looked like they were trying to do like a collapse situation, like he puts himself behind, he tries to get himself in position, and then they try to collapse with the Uber and tone. But it looks like at that point in time, getting caught out just made that little collapse a little just bad, just in general, with the full Uber ad. If they kite this really well, they could go ahead and try to save it with, I thought what the hell? I thought Tree Monkey for a second was, it looked like he was wall bugging. Well, a banger coming out from Scourge on the pre-alpha with the Uber coming out as well. We are seeing BBC played back by Blank, gonna reinitialize from the flank as we are seeing Boss try to lock it down. Big bomb from Tree Monkey, stopping the card, but they don't try to refight that. They weren't fast enough, but I understand what they were trying to go from that also. But again, it's not gonna be fast. And we're looking at a 3 minutes and 28 seconds off of these 3 points also.
Yeah, but last is where the battle really starts. We saw this in the first half. China National was steamrolling through the first few points. You know, they might have been a minute slower, maybe 2 where they were at, and then still, they've gotten held up on the last 4.5, 5 minutes every time. So if BBC is going to be able to replicate that, they could still end up here with a pretty tolerable time as I think we move into our first, you know, live action pause of the match. And look at Boss of Manfart.
Listen. You say Boss on Manfart? Let me do you one better. Look at Scourge real quick. Got Big Door. Look at this situation. Look at this situation right now. Wait, that's a screenshot. That's a nice ass screenshot right there. Hold up. Oh my god. There are 2 situations that this could literally unfold. Oh my god. This is so scary, man. Oh my god. Who you think dies first? You think Scourge dies first? You think Manfart forces first? What you think? And he's dead. Alto is dead. Oh, and it's an item servers pause. Okay.
Ooh, that's a rough one. I mean, Witch has no idea.
Wait, that's true.
And keep in mind, right, this is not where the pause happened in game. So it's not like they can say, oh, there's a soldier coming in. You know, this is happening in real speed when it actually happened. Pause is 90 seconds in the future. So Witch, no idea. Manfart, let me get on his POV. I don't even think he sees...
Wait, is no one looking at Boss? Is no one looking at Boss right now?
Oh, and there goes the force. Scourge gonna go down, but Boss manages to find the Uber. Just one man with the cloaking device infiltrating the entire team. Mr. Popo finds Tree Monkey, more frags going over. They get forced and then bleed. This is not how to hold blast for 5 minutes right here. And my HUD's a little bit broken, but I think Nines is still not quite on Uber. Nope, Nines does have Uber right here. Uber. So we're going to see an ad Uber come in shortly.
With that being said, too, they are just chilling, sitting in Red Room, ready to go ahead and bust out the Uber. Uber gets busted out, going immediately for the gun. A lot of pressure on the gun. Gun immediately goes down. We're looking at not too much Uber left. We are going to pick on the Melvin, too. Give him the Scourge. A lot of time to go ahead, play himself in a position where he can pick. But the flank plays from the side of BBC, going ahead and clearing everybody out for the flank. It's actually player ad. It's just about players. Just about even.
Gonna find one still coming in. Gonna eventually get taken out. Walrus staying alive here is so huge.
Trapping it too. But we see Big Walrus at the big door, but it's not going to be enough with Manfart being the only person alive as they get the car up, and it looks like they're going to try to secure that. All the explosives are up with a 5 minutes and 8 seconds aggressive push from China National. They want this win, also they want the win.
Yep, I'm gonna hit a reach right here, but true cast veterans will know this is not the first time we've seen a demo get a 3-man spawn camp here. I believe it was Humphrey the last time too, as part of a larger 6 or a 7K. But I mean, absolutely crushing if you're BBC here, because you knew this was the one where this could get you into playoffs. You start out so strong, and it's just slowly slipping away. I mean, not impossible, right? We've seen less likely things happen on cast. There's been a number of miracles on Steel. Not sure how many miracles we've had on Vigil. If they want this to work, they're going to have to go fast. They're going to have to go furious. They're going to need to find kills on key members of China National right off the bat and never let up that pressure.
Oh my goodness. We are absolutely seeing levels of killing, levels of thrilling, levels that we've definitely seen before. Absolutely seen before, but this is the difference. In 5 seconds, we will learn if China National will take this half for glory, or if BBC is going to command his team like a president, going ahead and commanding his people, with which actually going to die by some sneaky traps right under the car, and they are going to do an aggressive hold too, so it just kind of depends how this unfolds also.
Oh, BBL getting caught, not good. Colin whiffs his sack. Pressure maybe getting to them in key moments. Profile gonna find Mr. Bubble, but Colin! The delayed sack was what the doctor ordered. Nine's getting taken out right off the bat. And this battle still will be uphill, but the first domino has started to tip over.
Colin getting in with that big 2 for 2. Getting his team through with the full Uber. It ain't poo. And I'm talking and running through. As we're currently seeing them at this point in time, just going ahead and taking this first point. Confident. Humphrey had traps right in the point that goes ahead and secures too, but it is how it is. It do how it do. They still got Uber had to go ahead and work this. And by the time these people are up, yeah, I'm about to say practice is going to be nothing. They don't even have to go for a sack. They could if they want to put it more into their favor, but at this point in time, they're going to clear out tons auto and then see if we can try to use this Uber.
If they had the Mr. Popos in the back, gonna be calling things. Goes, finds Melvin, 3 frag, doesn't even go down, but the Uber's popped out. Coming out of side tunnel, they're gonna find Scourge. Tree Monkey coming in from the sky out to Nines. 1 record 2. Can't get the 3rd. Nines lives on a sliver of health. The frags team that were coming back in favor of China National. Mr. Popo collapsing, sealing their fate. Gonna be, I mean, it's still theoretically possible, but that Uber, that was your one hope on this that Colin delivered to you against all odds, and you blow it. The side tunnel push is not what the doctor ordered.
Mr. Popo coming in with that 2 for 2 pick. My man's is playing very good right now. Very good right now. As we're still starting to see BBC. Oh, Tree Monkey gets thrown to the back, but it's okay. 191 HP. Still the back. Still trying to trade picks back and forth. Manfart still going to get picked off. Mr. Popo is terrorizing with the pipes and the kills for the thrills. The Uber finally comes out. We're looking at 2 minutes and 50 seconds left for the side of big BBC. It is, oh my gosh. Alto, give it to me straight. Do they have a chance? Is there time?
If I had a soundboard, I'd play the sound of someone flatlining right now. I don't think BBC's hopes are gonna be living after another 30 seconds here. They're dry aggroing right now. They know this is their only shot. Tree Monkey's gonna lead off onto MK. Great reflex by Wick, denying all of this spam right here. They're gonna keep finding kills. Their boss on the side finds Manfart. It might be enough though. They're gonna get nearly a wipe, and Humphrey and AC-130 the only one still alive. And AC-130 has some kills on that glow stick, not gonna go for anything. I mean, theoretically possible. 2 minutes for 2 points here is doable, but you cannot let off on this ×3 for a moment. Melvin picks off AC-130 as well, so no NG here. The level 1 gun, not gonna be long for the world. They have a little bit of time to let the cart get pushed up, plan out what their Uber's gonna be here, but Manfart going down means no ad.
Oh, we need explosions. We need kills. We need thrills. 1 minute and 35 seconds left on the clock. You cannot wait for this Uber. And Melvin does not want to wait for the Uber. He wants to get these picks, and he wants to make space for his team. He don't care about no Uber. He wants these picks. Thomas getting picked up before getting traded out by BBL.
Mr. Popo discovered, that's it, they're up 3 kills already. They're getting aggressive. Wallace coming up from hell gets so much damage and he's gonna live, but he forces Humphrey back. The Rockets coming in, gonna force him back even further. Boss looking to salvage. Great reflex, they got the cap. Still a minute left on the clock. The miracle of Vigil is still potentially alive. It's gonna be even Ubers coming in right here. It would have to be a miracle. But BBC playing with everything on this entire season, right? And they get the gun.
Oh, and they get the gun. The Ubers haven't come out yet. We're looking at 48 seconds left on the clock with Thomas going ahead and dying. They haven't even used the Uber, and they're right at the door, going ahead and forcing everyone from China National to one narrow doorway while the Guardians is getting pressured. We do see Tree Monkey on the flank going ahead and bullying everyone as they can. Uber does come out. Melvin goes ahead and gets picked up on Uncle Scourge. No snipers in this fight, but no demo, no heavy for the side of China National on the defense. At this point in time, BBC may just take this with 25 seconds left on the clock, and it looks like that's probably the case with everybody dying for the side of China National, with BBC claiming. BBC going ahead and claiming that win with the minutes left on the clock. An incredible snowball. 19 seconds left on the clock. An incredible snowball from BBC, bro. Oh my God, BBC. Oh my God.
They were down, they were out, they had nothing in their corner. They blew their full Uber out on second, 3.5 minutes. They say, we don't care, we're looking for playoffs. We are going to steamroll through this. Every single kill going in their favor. Melvin opening up every time. Mr. Popo not showing up when his team needs him the most. And just phenomenal play, getting so much space, keeping Walrus alive, letting him sit on that head glitch, funneling them all into flank, collapsing on them, keeping the ×3. You can't script it any better. BBC plays perfect Vigil for 3 minutes there.
Oh, not only, and for the people who don't know, for the audience who don't know, China National was talking smack that entire time. Classic banter. You know how it go. Throughout every kill, they get a BBL kill, they say something about BBL. Someone in this chat, someone in here named BBL Torture Chamber, only for BBL to go ahead and lock in. I'm telling you, the motivational speeches are different. I'm going to say it. BBL's Martin Luther King Jr. I'm going to say it. He's Martin Luther King Jr. of Team Fortress 2 Highlander. I'm saying it right now. Regardless of how you feel about it, they locked in. We saw a potential push that was looking rough in every direction. It was looking scary, but just like you said, Melvin came out of nowhere and just decided to lock in on kills. He ain't give a darn about these situations. He trying to lock in on these kills. He trying to make space for his team. He trying to open up. He trying to open everything up, like you're trying to open up a conversation with a date. You know what I'm saying? You have to do what you gotta do. But goodness gracious, Alto, that was a phenomenal game from both teams. That was insanity.
I cannot believe that they pulled that out. Every fight, Melvin opens onto someone. Mr. Popo gets caught. 9v7, they're walking it in. They get the gun down. People exactly in the right position. All of those sloppy deaths we saw from them, gone. No one's dying. You know, maybe they're losing Tree Monkey as he's bombing into 5 people and nuking them all down to 20 HP for the rest of the team to clean up. That's it. The deaths stopped. The kills turned on. Jamon, I cannot believe we just witnessed that.
Bro. And people said not to cast this game, bro. Are you kidding me, bro? Who said not to cast this game? You just saw a peak. You just saw Beauty and the Beast. I don't even know who's who, but you saw it. And you saw it for the first time. It's like playing Mario Kart 64 for the GameCube for the first time. Mario Kart Double Dash for the first time on the GameCube. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
My eyes have been opened. I can see
everything. I can see in the 4th dimension. I'm listening to Astro World for the first time. Oh my gosh. A phenomenal experience. This is crazy. Check Twitter. Thomas is in jail. Check Twitter. Oh my gosh. Regardless of that, a phenomenal game. I need BBO in here. I want to talk to him. I don't know if we do interviews. I want him now. That's how I feel right now. I need him in here now. BBO hit my line. Regardless though, Alto, we saw an incredible game, but we have to know, what do you think was the fault in terms of China National lose? How did China National fumble, in your opinion?
it's just getting a little bit too, sure of yourself. I mean, MK, it felt like, was getting picked off on flank in times where maybe could have been a little bit more passive. Mr. Popo maybe had a little bit too much mojo from that second half, coming in, going for stabs in places, trying to get that hero play, when maybe you're a little bit off timing with the rest of your team. Melvin getting these peaks, getting these kills, people maybe China National a little bit too cocky, not giving them enough respect.
Mm-hmm.
Just all these, it's been the story of BBC season so far. It feels like all these little things keep adding up. MK getting picked off one time, okay, fine. MK getting picked off 2 or 3 times, followed by Melvin getting someone else, followed by Mr. Popo not getting a kill. Well, now suddenly you're looking at, a 9v9 on defense with a lot of time. Suddenly now you're down 6v9, and you gotta, either salvage or give up the point.
Oh my gosh. They did what they had to do. They did what they had to do in terms of it. Oh my goodness. And I have to agree. It came to the point where they weren't respecting them like at all. Like, I'm talking literally at all. It, like, down to the last minute, we saw how close they were playing. They were trying to play with the Uber ad. They said, hey, it's okay. We're not going to force with the Uber ad. They get forced on third point with the Uber ad, and then they get snowballed right into the last point. Last point comes out of nowhere, and they decide to take it straight to the spawn and just say, we're going to put you on a little corridor, so you guys have to try to fight us back for that positioning. And let me tell you, oh my gosh, I have seen impeccable. I've seen some close calls, but let me tell you, that was a close call. That was dominance being demonstrated by BigBrainComp, and let me tell you, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. Which, speaking of beautiful, we got Big Beautiful. I don't know what the L stands for in his name, but we got Big Beautiful person right in this chat with us right here, and he's actually muted. I can't unmute him. And he's unmuted.
Is this thing working?
Big
You're on.
Big
You're
BBL,
on.
aka Martin Luther King Jr. of Team Fortress 2 Highlander. Listen, bro. First off, the first thing I gotta ask you, before Alto asks a question, first thing I gotta ask, when you lost the second half, when you lost the first half, bro, or the second half, excuse me, did you do the speech? Did you do the classic BBL motivational speech? I need to know.
Yes.
I literally said it.
That's why it took so long. It was entirely just like 10 minutes of just resetting. So, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Now, also, do you have any questions? I have a plethora of them, but do you have questions? Do you have questions right now?
Okay, so you lose the second half. You go through the speech, right? Mr. Popo is the problem, primarily. Picking you off left and right. What else is the focus for BBC going into that last half?
Mm-hmm.
See, one of the main issues we have is like rushing things or like not like chilling out during like pushes and stuff. So it was of course the spy, like Mr. Popo did amazing that second half. So there was a lot of talk on, okay, how are we dealing with that? But we definitely could get really flustered after like things go wrong for a split second. So just really trying to focus on like recentering before like pushes, or if we've capped, etc., etc. If things are going our way, we could definitely get screwed up pretty fast. Same thing if things are going 100% our way, we'll go way too fast. So trying to like maintain the pace to where we're still pushing fast, but we're not feeding, I think was like the biggest thing trying to focus on.
Perfect. Beautiful gameplay. If I had to give a question, I feel like I have 4, but if I had to give a couple questions, were you expecting second half to kind of, listen, first half, you felt good. It felt like a dub. It felt like at that point, second half, it could be another potential easy dub. When you guys were getting held on first for, what was it, also like 3 minutes, bro? Like 3 minutes, 40
Yeah,
seconds?
like
half,
3:30.
yeah.
Like 3 minutes, 30 seconds was the mental, what at one point in half two was the mental shot before your motivational speech? Like, what was the moment that your teammates were just like, dude, we got held on first for like 3 minutes, but it's chill, it's cool? Or was it just like the classic,
it started
oh my God.
after like the 30-minute pause and like all the items and stuff, people like lost focus. And honestly, the tilt team, like it started kind of like early in, like during that first hold even. So like that entire push was like, that entire offense was just like a plethora of just people like not going on autopilot. It's like getting like, we were definitely upset, but we were able to we were able to bring it back in. But yeah, I mean, that entire like second half, like servers weren't working. Hell, during the third half on offense, our bed was stuck in spawn for 30 seconds because we couldn't resub bind. We were trying to get him forward, and I'm just sitting there with him. I'm like, why is the button not working? And then I try, it's not working for me either. So like,
Oh,
it was,
jeez.
there were so many issues tonight. It was insane, but no, I definitely think at that 30-minute pause, like we got really cold, then things were going all over the place.
Let me tell you, you watch that stream about Alto and I, you're gonna hear some things from Alto and I that make us cancel. Don't cancel us, please and thank you. But regardless, I will say the game. Another question I have too. You originally played heavy. I know because you and I played against each other in season 10. What made the transition from no longer playing heavy, at least for a minute, to officially now playing spy? At least, is it just kind of like the challenge of it? You kind of like the aspect of spy? Is it kind of like you get more? Because you're more when you played heavy, you were very a communicative player for sure. Does spy kind of put you in a place to where you kind of have a little bit more control and how you can kind of set up some of these pushes? Give me a breakdown, bro. What was the change in that?
I was tired of main calling on heavy. You can't do it on that class, like especially after the last couple of seasons, it was awful. So like spy definitely, like there's so much more vision. It's way better to orchestrate things with the rest of your team. And also it's like, even if I die, if it's the right timing, I make the right call and they're all looking at me, the rest of my team gets sick. So it's like, who cares? I definitely find it a lot easier to play around what I enjoy with TF2. I definitely big fan of the meta game, the how to play around everything. So Spy just fits that better. Honestly, I'd play demo, but I haven't gotten into it just yet. But Spy has definitely been the sweet spot.
All I gotta say is, bro, I don't know if you watch CS:GO like that, but that was the equivalent of the Mongols 9-10 ace of what your team just did right there. And let me tell you that had the room shaking. You definitely, if we had people in our rooms, Altona's rooms, it would have been shaking. That's a fact. I can tell you.
Absolutely.
But big BBL and BBC, I gotta tell you, congratulations on your dub. Well deserved, especially at the 5-minute and 8-second push, bruh. 19 seconds. Yeah, let me not get too. Hold up, I'm gonna get too ignorant. Let me go ahead and put it like this. BBL, do you have any shout outs? Any shout outs for your boys, for your people, somebody?
The entirety of BBC. I love playing with them. They're great to hang out with. A lot of teams that I've played with, it's kind of one of those things where you play scrims, you play matches, and immediately dip out. I definitely don't feel like it's with them. I definitely feel like there's a really good connection there. And I mean, just anyone that has believed that we'll get there one step at a time. Anyone that's supported, that's mentored me, etc. I want to get there. Hopefully I can get there one day. But no, I just everybody that I hang out with, everybody that deals with me, do it from a day-to-day basis.
Listen, like I said, very, very well deserved, bro. Very well deserved. And with that, I think we're gonna get out of here. Alto, do you have any shout outs, bro?
Just gotta give shout outs to BBC. You guys just turned it on in a way that I've been casting this game a long time, and that kind of fairy tale push so rarely comes together. It was an absolute blast. I think it's a lot of, I think it's the team as a whole's first season in Invite. I think if I'm running the numbers right, that IDM versus DK on Steel is gonna be the match to watch. Assuming that BBL, you guys are able to not drop any rounds against Pastas, which they can
steal rounds. They've been doing.
They can steal rounds, right? But the way I'm looking at it is that if you guys can 9-0 imposters, and then you have the bye week on Steel, I believe you'll be sitting at 30 match points. IDM gets a bye week next week, so they'll be at 29. So you'll have a 1 match point, theoretical lead. So you guys are gonna have to be really big on DK, because if they're able to 2-0 IDM, then you guys make it into playoffs, and I think that would be an incredible story.
That would be insane. I was gonna say, is it based off a point still, or did it switch over to a win-loss and then points? That's a good point.
I might be
because I've heard a mix of both for this season. Because if it's like definitely depends on that as well. But yeah, I mean, hope one match at a time.
One match at a time.
Yeah. I mean, if it's wins, I think you guys are in by default, unless IDM manages to pull that upset against DK. But it'll come down to the wire. But the fact that we're even having this kind of fight is awesome. It's so much more fun when all of these games are so meaningful coming into the end of the season. So shout out to you guys.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on.
Absolute. And shoot, I'm gonna shout out the Heavy. I'm gonna shout out Chalk, cause I love Chalk, and I'm always gonna say it every time I'm on this mic. Anytime it's hot, I love Chalk. Big Chalk. You already know. Yeah, Wagwan Mute. Listen, catch us next Monday. Catch us anywhere else this week. Catch us any other time this week. I don't know. Dolphin will make an announcement. He'll put it in the chat. We are GL. This was Highlander. This was fire. This was sick. Galaxy, you're bald. And you probably smell bad. Good night. Have a great night.